And we're back live on Tom'sRiver.tv with the Jam Session. My name's Jimmy Steele. We're sitting in with SCARLET CARSON. Going to hear another tune from them coming up in just a few minutes. And then we're going to be chatting about them, with them about some big shows they got coming up this weekend. Huge shows, in fact. But right now, I think we got a phone call, Mr. Producer, right? All right, you're on the air live on the Jam Session on Tom'sRiver.tv. Who's this?
This is Billy from Jackson.
Billy, what's going on, my man?
This is Jimmy?
Yeah.
What's up, brother, man?
What's up, bro?
To you for many, many years.
Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, I got a couple of good questions for you and the boys there.
Throw it our way.
I caught them at a couple of shows. The latest one actually over at the Pony, and I believe they're going back there again this Saturday, which I'll be there. But I got a question. Number one, where do you see them going as far as a band? And number two, with the mix that Santino brings as far as like a rocker, but I hear rap in his voice when he's singing. And then you add Mayhem and Rabin, which is like pure heavy metal, and then you have Tommy and Stone, sort of like the makeup. These guys, to me, they sound like the second coming of Guns N' Roses or Kiss. Where do you see these guys going, Jimmy?
I'll take the second part first. I think where they're going depends a lot upon this show tonight. No, I'm kidding. I see these guys going as far as their talents and their ability to stay together take them. Like I was talking to you guys before, about the writing ability and stuff. That's a big. Yeah, there you go. That's something to shoot for. That's very important. I mean, being able to write songs. If you can get out, one or two songs or an album, that's great. But then what happens down the line? When you got to put out that second album. I mean, hell, there's signed bands that have one great album and then you never hear from them again. So I think they really got to stick together. They really got to have communication and really just keep writing great songs and have good musicianship. As far as what was the other question? Is he still with us?
To me, they seem like a mix between Guns N' Roses and Kiss. I mean, Kiss was my band back in the day. I mean, there was no way around it. I listened to a lot of the other ones, but Kiss was it for me.
Right.
I don't even listen to Kiss anymore. I tell you what, I got their CD. I'm wearing it out.
Right.
I'm working 50, and I've come alive again with this group.
Yeah, I definitely get the Guns N' Roses influence with these guys. Kiss, obviously very theatrical, but like you said, you've seen them on stage at the Pony before.
I wear makeup on stage. Does that count?
Yeah, but I'm thinking more of like the way Kiss, very theatrical. I know a couple of you guys are really into Kiss in the band as well as Guns N' Roses. So I think you're dead on there with your analyzation of the kind of band that they kind of seem like when they're on stage. What do you guys think? And thanks for the call, by the way, brother. I appreciate it.
Good.
And what do you guys think?
I think he's right. I mean,
like, what are some of your influences? That was one of my questions I wanted to ask you tonight. So we might as well.
Start another one?
Yeah, sure.
Can I just start with Grizzly, American Grizzly magazine is where I picked up the guitar. I seen it, I wanted it, and that was it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's where I picked up radio. That's where I say magazine. Unbelievable.
I believe that I was born to be a sidekick. Bass. So I needed to find a good singer and a good lead guitarist that I can literally beat my bass to while they play.
Who influenced you musically?
Nobody.
Really?
Yeah.
Just nobody, but yet everybody, I guess, right? Kind of thing?
Yeah. I don't know. Rock and roll, heavy metal.
Right.
Good stuff.
Okay, very
Screaming music when I was younger.
What was that one local band, though, that you said you saw at the Saint or something? That one guy, the one bass player you really liked?
Okay, there was a band called Torque that did all covers of Korn. And the bass player was jumping around and beating the crap out of his bass, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do.
Very cool. So there you go. That's an influence right there. B-Rab, what do you think,
Indeed.
brother? My influences?
Yeah.
I started up on actually Phil Collins and graduated over to like Aerosmith, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses,
Right.
and then got into bands like Dream Theater, Rush,
Right.
and now I'm in.
I thought you were going to say you started Phil Collins and graduated to Megadeth. But I believe Phil Collins, man, great drummer, though.
Yeah,
Great drummer.
and then now I listen from everything from Unearthed to Lamb of God to Buck Cherry, Papa Roach. Steve's more the Buck Cherry influence
Very nice.
over there.
Santino, what do you think, man? You definitely have some influences, right?
Yeah, man, I'm all over the place, though. I started out, my first band was like metal, like old school, kind of actually, like we were talking Metallica a little bit, sort of, when I was in, like freshman or something like that. Then the next band was tech metal. I did stuff that's, heavy as like like Dillinger's Escape Plan and Ion Dissonance and that kind of thing. And then I did hip hop for a couple of years.
So he was right with he said he
he was.
That's
I
very
did
cool.
hip hop for a little while, and then I learned how to sing. I always tried before that.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
wasn't really good at it. I could scream, rap, whatever, but and then I learned how to sing, and I just wanted to take on more challenging stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I've always loved singing rock music. You know, I used to listen to like Soil and Mudvayne and stuff.
Sure,
that kind of thing
yeah.
back in the day, and then
So follow-up question to that, you know, you do the hair and some makeup sometimes. Were you ever into the glam, the old glam, like 70s, besides Kiss, like I'm talking like, you know, the punk scene with like the New York Dolls?
Not really. Actually, the reason it's funny because everyone like I can obviously the Adam Lambert thing, I get it a lot, and you know that kind of I get that all the time.
Yeah.
But no, I actually I've been doing this since, like I said, the first metal band. I was 14. I was big into like I was like Manson a lot. I was a big Manson fan when I was younger and stuff. So I always liked the whole the whole theatrical aspect of a live show. You know what I mean? I always thought when you go to see a show, you go to be entertained. You know what I mean? And I always considered myself more of an entertainer than I did just a musician. You know what I mean? I think that's a huge part of it is the visual part. You know, that seems to be something a lot of bands seem to forget. But the hair and all that, I mean, actually didn't come from anybody real. It all sort of was just a thing of my own. I'm big into like, anime. I don't really talk about it too much.
That's cool,
but
though.
It's like the Japanese sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like big where the hair comes from, and
Right.
Yeah, I mean, most people were like
Sonic the Hedgehog,
yeah,
stuff
you know,
like
whatever,
that.
yeah, you know, but you know, a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog.
What about you, Madman? Kiss!
You know, everybody says I seen Kiss at the Garden in '96. That was a big thing. But it was my mom. Kiss was always growing up. I had a catalog. It was not about like the whole stage thing. It was all about the music. My mom, she picked up Appetite and Lies when I was like 8, and I listened to back and forth all the time.
GNR, yeah.
But it was GNR really pushed it over the edge. And then as I got older in high school, I did a lot of sports. I was never really never pursued it until all the scene came out, like this metal scene, the emo scene, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what pursued me. So all that music, I thought that I can make better music than other people, and that's why I decided to pursue it. And then I always go back to like we were talking about before about the whole '80s thing.
Yeah.
Bands like Britney Fox make me want to do it so much, rock so much harder because they're so terrible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You heard it here, right here on TomsRiver.tv.
We can go back with the music. That's pretty much it for me.
That's cool. Stone, what do you think? Influences.
I guess it started with like the New York Yankees and
There you go. Well, that's all
pork,
right.
leg, and cheese. But after that,
Sausage and peppers.
sausage and peppers.
Oh, hey!
No, I mean like Guns, AC/DC, typical Aerosmith, Zeppelin. I love them all, And
As a guitarist, though,
As a
guitar player,
guitarist.
influence.
probably Van Halen,
Say it.
Slash. I really like Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay.
He's really picked it up, But I like it all. I mean, I teach guitar, so I'm learning everything from Taylor Swift to the Jonas Brothers. So, but not that I like teaching it.
He's just
That's
playing.
all right.
He
But
didn't use
it's
music,
good
man,
stuff. You learn new things.
If that turns a kid on where he
apply
starts
to
picking up a
everything
guitar, man, why not,
Exactly.
He doesn't have to admit it later. So.
Yeah.
I do got to say that one thing I forgot to say before.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't want to bring it up yet, but Papa Roach, man. Big
Yeah,
time. Big time,
absolutely.
obviously.
We're going to get to that
Yeah.
because you guys are going to be hanging with those boys this weekend.
Yeah,
We'll
are.
get to
I am
that.
looking forward